Today's question is, what are our 5 main core personal values? So many adjectives. Yeah, 5 values that we have, personal ones that we want to share. And we've talked about them before doing the video, so I think we remember. But
yes, we
these
do.
values that we share and are at the core of our life.
And because values are something really important and to take in consideration also in relationship, yet especially before this in your own life. Because so you have a measure map how you create your life, what actually matters to you, and this can be measured by values.
It's a filter.
Yeah.
We teach it in our program, Pull Me Closer. One of the first things is get down and do the value list.
Yep.
What is valuable for you? And that's what the value is. It's what you value in your life, right? And this is something that should be a non-negotiable for you. But anyways, that's an exercise everybody has to do. And I think in today's societies, we don't work with values anymore, and they are so important, especially then in relationships. So, the first one.
Freedom. I think I did the value work several times in the last years. I think freedom was always one of my main important, and I think the driver when I changed from employed to unemployed to self-employed, to self-employed, to be an entrepreneur. Unemployed was also part of my life, but no, when I changed to become an entrepreneur to a self-employed, the driver was the value of freedom. Being free to choose what I want in my life, where I want to, what to do in my life. Yeah, like letting me be the one who decides was an important indicator, and there underneath lies the value of freedom. Yeah, to create the life I want, to my terms, to my conditions, to fulfill my dreams. Like
Your desires.
Desires
And
as well.
this also applies in relationships.
Yeah, true.
Like, how can you feel free and
Yeah.
this freedom of being yourself? Then we come into the second value inside of your relationship, where you don't have to compromise your needs, your desires. That's a big core message from Bruno and Lola, is your desires are there for you to fulfill them and not to suppress them. So the second value is authenticity. Authenticity, I don't know what to say about it, but it's the highest frequency, baby.
It is even higher than the love frequency,
Yeah.
did you know? When I was hearing this word, what? How beautiful is this? So if you are authentic, this vibrates even higher than love. Love is such a wide thing. Nobody knows what love is. So if you are authentically yourself, it's the most attractive. And actually why it's important to us, like we have both, this is very beautiful that we have both individually. The first most important values are the same. So that's why we are mentioning these. Everybody can have way more values, but what are the most important and how you're having this the same in the relationship, but this is not the part of the video. So now it's about us, and authenticity is so attractive. What makes authenticity that you can relax, and authenticity to yourself gives you so much space because you simply be you. And there's so much more space now for yourself, for your life, to create, to be, to live, to enjoy, and not holding up anything what you are not. And authenticity in others, you can breathe, and this makes you feel safe, and this makes you feel good, and you can actually create something beautiful together. And this is maybe a small moment or a huge thing or a whole life or what this ever is, yet authenticity is a very beautiful frequency to be in just for yourself. And then meeting someone who is authentic, I think there's a breathing in there.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
When something is not authentic,
Oh.
you can feel it. Something inside of you says, this is not authentic. And this you can see not only in people, but also in spaces, in businesses. There's something that is not authentic. And as Tina was saying, we want to mention a person that we really admire and love. I don't know if love, but we really like, which is Kevin Walton,
Oh.
Source Gradients.
I didn't know it.
We can check it online, and he says something that we really like, that is not being yourself costs you
Twice
as much energy. So all the energy that you're spending by not being yourself is as twice much energy that's taking space from you. When you are yourself, you claim back that energy, and that connects to that freedom that we were talking about before. And this leads us to the third value.
And before we come to the third, what you can observe, mostly, like I was now, when you mentioned Kevin Walton, I had to jump to Rick Rubin, and I had to jump to someone who is now out of my mind. I can see it. If someone is authentic, this is really attractive.
And at the end, authenticity is you're unique, and that's part of the core message of our other brand, Discover Your Gift.
Yeah.
But you are unique, so authenticity is like kind of vibrating your own unique frequency. It doesn't have to do with higher or lower. It's like your own personality and uniqueness, and you're vibrating at that, and it's very different of anyone else.
Yep.
That's when you know you're authentic. But that's another topic of another video. So the third value?
Honesty. Me personally, coming from a place where I was not honest with myself, what I didn't know, and not honest with everyone around me, since now 6 years being on the complete opposite. Now I'm since already 6 years completely transparent and honest. You can know everything about me. There's no secret, no taboo, no shame, no hiding, no nothing. Experience the both sides of the coin. I can tell you don't want to leave this at any time anymore, and it's also impossible. So honesty holds such a also when we talk about frequency, it's obviously high frequency, and it's something very beautiful to experience, especially when you worm both ends. I can say it's a high value for me now. Since 6 years, I can say there is no more other way around. You are always a very honest person.
The thing with me is I cannot lie because I'm a very authentic person.
Yeah.
So I think authenticity also connects with honesty. And honesty at the end is, there's only one type of honesty, which is honesty with yourself. And
there are people who are better in being honest with themselves and not so good with others, and then vice versa.
Okay.
They are not so good and honest with themselves, but then it's in both directions.
yeah, but I think honesty, it's important for us. And if you do our program, Pull Me Closer, or you watch our videos, you'll see that honesty is part of our code, or the connection intimacy code, which is the code that we use to keep that vibrance and aliveness in your relationship in the long run. But honesty is also a form of intimacy. Intimacy means intimacy, right? In seeing the other. And honesty is a type of intimacy. So if you're not honest with yourself, with others, it's going to be hard to connect, right? And honesty is a big part of connection. And one of our main priorities is our connection, to keep it alive and deepen it, right? So honesty is a big word for us. And honesty leads to the fourth value, which is something that I really like to talk about, and really I hold really on my core, which is integrity.
Oh, yes.
And why do we need honesty for integrity? Integrity means, coming back to the values, you have your values, and then everything that is not aligned with those values is out of alignment or out of integrity, right? So integrity is really an ongoing work. As soon as you're aware of something that you're out of alignment, out of integrity, is your responsibility to bring it back to alignment, right? For example, if I want to be honest, if right now my value is to be honest, whenever I find something where an area where I'm dishonest with myself, with another person, it's my duty to correct that and really bring it to honesty again, right? Whatever it is. So being on integrity for me means you stand by your values, and something to understand better would be you say or you act accordingly to what you say. So your actions and your words are in alignment, right? You're not saying things and then you're doing other things, right? That you can also see when someone is in integrity. You see it on his actions, on her actions, really, if they are coming from what they say. Because when you see a misalignment, oh, this person is saying this but is doing another thing, that's out of integrity. And I think integrity doesn't mean that you are doing the things that I think are good. You can do your things and still be in integrity with your values, with your things, and it doesn't have to be what I value. But at the end, I can respect you because you're in integrity with you. And that's something that I respect in people, and I really hold accountable myself, like staying always in integrity. But for that, I need honesty to be able to look at the places where I'm not in integrity. So that's why honesty plays a big role in integrity, and it's something that is ever evolving, because every time you evolve and you're more aware of things that were out of alignment. So then it's your responsibility, as I was saying, to bring it back to alignment.
Totally. I think integrity is so important. What it brings with you, and especially also with others, is it brings trust.
Trust, exactly.
If someone is being in integrity, you can trust the person. And a little thing from my experience with yourself is also sometimes you experience things with others and you think, oh, but I'm not like this. And as you are maybe also in personal development, you know everything outside of you is just a mirror from you, and it's just like a pathway to show you things. And mostly it's like you first have to be the person, and then you see it on the outside. And I had, for example, experiences that people were not reliable on their words. And then I had a period in my life, and all the time this happens, and I think, and I'm checking in with myself, but I'm reliable on my words. When I say we meet there, or I call you, or I send you blah, 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 I'm doing these things, so I'm reliable on what I'm saying. And then I had someone pointing out to me, but are you actually in integrity with yourself, with your own words towards yourself? And this was a big eye-opener, maybe something for you to consider if something like this happens to you, is if we are also in integrity with ourselves. Like when I say, oh, next month I'm starting finally going to the gym. Doing it or not doing it? And then you think, yeah, but I'm not hurting anyone by not doing it. Next week I start doing this. Next week I will do this. Are you doing the things?
But then...
And then you are not in integrity when you're not doing it. With your own words, you think, yeah, doesn't matter because this is not interfering with anyone. But also there to look at. Are you in integrity with the outside world, but also with your inside world? It's a very important value for us.
Yeah. And to not keep it longer, the fifth and last value is...
a very important one as well, is nourishment.
It's a word that we had to learn because we're not English mother tongue speakers. It's a word that we use often in Bruno and Lola, especially related to connection, related to intimacy.
And for me, I started years ago also when I was doing value work, I was realizing which filter I want to put on my life. And I was writing down, is this nourishing me? And that's why it's a huge part of our life and value. And this is like a filter. Is this, whatever this is, the food, the connection, this encounter, this person, the place, the space, the work, like whatever it is, this nourishing me? Because we want to feel nourished by life, nourished by ourselves, nourished by all the relationships, nourished by food, nourished by nature. Nourishment is such an important value.
And I think there's a craving in everyone's life.
Yeah.
I think finding that life nourishes you, that gives you and fills you. I think nourishment also has to do with fulfillment. But yeah, it's a big filter, and we want to finish the video just giving yourself this question. Since we're in Bruno and Lola, is your relationship nourishing you? And of course, you already know the answer, and it's for you your responsibility to search for nourishment, because it's a great feeling.
It is.
So those are our values, just to do a recap: freedom, authenticity, honesty, integrity, and nourishment. And we would love to know your values. We would love you to get down with your partner or alone, get down those 5 main values. If you want, you can do more. But what are those 5 main values, core values, personal values that you have? You can put them please in the comments. We would love to know what are your values, because it doesn't have to be different. Maybe some of these values resonate with you. And if you have any questions regarding the exercise, of course, maybe there are, you can also let us know in the comments. And see you on the next videos of this series of Meet the Founders.